President Boss. Right now I'm gonna interview Mr. Andrew Hsia, representative from Taipei Economic and Trade Office. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Hello, Liz. How are you?
How are you? Fine, thank you. So we're gonna start with what is TETO and its function for Taiwanese partnerships.
TETO is the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office. Basically, we do not have diplomatic relations with Indonesia. So in countries where we do not have such relationship, we set up a Taipei Economic and Trade or Cultural Office to replace the formal embassies or consul general, so that this office will take care of the interest of Taiwan. So basically, we are here issuing visas, handling our trade, economic, cultural, social, labor relationships with Indonesia, and also to protect our overseas Taiwanese living here in Indonesia.
Okay. Can you explain more about cooperation between Taiwan and Indonesia, current situation?
The Taiwan and Indonesia has a very long history of cooperation. At this moment, I can say that the relationship is getting better and better. Take labor, for example. At this moment, we have 170,000 Indonesian workers, migrant workers, working in Taiwan, helping our families and our economies. We appreciate that very much. The number actually increased by 30,000 over the past 2 years, meaning that we enjoy working with the Indonesian migrant workers, and we treat them like family members. They enjoy the minimum wage as any Taiwanese does. They are covered by the national health insurance. In terms of education, for example, we now have 3,000 students studying in Taiwan, but we expect that number to increase dramatically in the next few years, because we are now promoting education in Taiwan, which is of good quality. It's cheaper than studying in Singapore, Malaysia, or in Australia, much cheaper than in UK and the US. And in terms of trade and investment, it's also getting more and more substantial. We are now your number 9 investors in terms of our investment in Indonesia. But this figure, I don't believe, reflect the real investment we made here, because most Taiwanese investment are small and medium-sized industries, and also the investment sometimes can from offshore base, such as Mauritius, Virgin Island, Singapore. So the number, I believe, is larger than simply number 9. We were number 2 before, and there's no reason why we could not become number 2 again, investors. I think our economies are complementary to each other. You know, we have the technology, we have the SMEs, we have the marketing skills, and what we are short of is natural resources and labor, and also a big market. While you have the big market, certainly, you have nature and human resources. So I see every reason that we should be good partners in the future.
Okay. What do you think about Indonesia's political situation? Is it good enough for investors to come?
Well, this is the problem between Taiwan and Indonesia, is the lack of understanding. For Taiwanese people, few realize that Indonesia is a democracy. You know, you elected your parties, your member of your city council, all the way up to the president, direct election, which even in Taiwan is rare. You know, we started only direct election of the president only in 1996. So, you know, we didn't know that. We didn't know you are a free society, that your people, your press, your enjoy, you know, freedom of association, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, everything. We didn't know that. We didn't know that, comparatively speaking, you are politically and socially stable. You know, the image most people have about Indonesia is all the negative ones. the tsunamis, the volcanoes, demonstrations, but that's not true. So I think my sense is that Indonesia has been performing quite well in the past few years. You've been rated by many international agencies as to the investment level. So our people actually are coming here to Indonesia to invest over the past few years. We see increasing number of people coming here. So I think yes, I mean in terms of investment, this is a good place. Of course, you need to improve your infrastructure. Your system need to be more transparent than it is now. But it takes time. We understand that. At this moment, our investors are coming.
What is your suggestion for government of Indonesia to promote?
I think you need to promote yourself because you are competing for investment with other countries in the region, with Malaysia, with Thailand, with Philippines, with India, even with countries as far away as Brazil, Russia. So I think you need to let people know what you have, the abundant natural resources, the very skilled workers, abundance too, and young, and also you have a huge market. Your climate is better than some of the other countries. When you talk about agriculture and aquaculture, I check with a few investors from Taiwan. Every year in Taiwan we have typhoons, we have cold spells, but when I check with people who invested here, for 20 years there wasn't any. So you need to promote this. I think it's very important. Indonesia cannot be just sitting here and waiting for other people to come. You are competing. This is a globalized society. You need to compete with other countries.
Okay. Especially for this year, what kind of cooperation that will be more developed?
I think this year we will see more labor moving to Taiwan. We will see more students studying, which is very important to the development of Indonesia. This is what we started. The investment in education. We will see more investment leaving places like China and Vietnam to Indonesia because of in China there's a shortage of labor and the cost of land and labor is getting more expensive. In Vietnam there's quite a few strikes happening. So people are looking for a place where they can predict that their investment will get the returns. So Indonesia has been such a target, and we as government are encouraging people to do that. So I expect to see that as well. Not just labor-intensive industries, even electronic products. In the past year, we have seen a few, but we expect to see more.
Okay, what do you think about the future free trade agreement, the free trade area, ASEAN plus Taiwan?
Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, the problem we are having now is a political problem. I think Taiwan is probably the only two countries in the world that still are marginalized, not being able to join free trade blocs. One is North Korea, the other one is Taiwan. But 2 years ago, we signed this free trade agreement with China, the ECFA, which I think basically indicated that we are warming up with mainland China, and it shouldn't be an obstacle for other countries to follow suit. We are now negotiating with Singapore. We are now also in the early stage of talking to New Zealand. Certainly we'll be interested in ASEAN. I mean, we are neighbors. I think in terms of the division of labor, the market, the products, we are quite complementary to each other. So we were very interested, and we hope that we'll be able to start it, at least some sort of study with countries in ASEAN. Now with Indonesia, I can say now that your National Science Institute, LIPI, not too long ago, about 2 months ago, conducted a joint research with a research institute in Taiwan. And the conclusion is very simple. Our economies are complementary. that we need to have a closer economic cooperation arrangements or agreements.
Okay, I want to ask about what is your opinion about Indonesians' human resources? What do we need to improve to compete in the global market?
Well, I think we like Indonesians. That is why the number of Indonesian workers in Taiwan increased by so many. In Taiwan, we don't have a set of quota for each and every country. We let the market decide. And over the past years, you can see decreased number of people from the Philippines, from Vietnam, and you see increased number of Indonesians. So basically, we believe that Indonesian people are very optimistic. They always smile. They have good personality. They get along well with other workers, and they don't. They don't leave a company simply because of the pay. The rate of living is not that high, so we enjoy working with them. I think here in Indonesia, you can see that you have abundant, human resources and very young people, skilled also. And I visited some Taiwanese factories. All the people they're working, they make first-class products. Definitely better than the similar products made in other countries. So we enjoy working with them very much.
What about how many Taiwan people in Indonesia?
We don't have an exact figure. We roughly calculated. We think about 10,000 because we are a free market society. They don't have to register with my office, and also most of us are small and medium-sized industries. They are very flexible. They come, they go. So we don't know the exact number, but I sensed that the number will increase definitely in the next few years.
But they have to have a permit, right?
Oh, they do have to have a permit from the Indonesian government, but if they don't let us know, we don't know.
Okay, last question. What do you think about the future projection about Taiwan and Indonesia relations?
I always say that we should be good neighbors, good friends, and good partners. The relationship was very good. It's getting better, but could have been so much better if we work harder in terms of the exchange of information. If we remove certain self-imposed obstacles, some unnecessary political obstacles, then there's no reason Taiwan could not become your number 2 trading partners, your number 1 buyers. All those figures can increase quite dramatically. So I see there's no limits. We just let us work harder. We can achieve a lot.
So that's my last question. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
Thank you very much. You're very welcome.